Your headlines in just a couple of minutes, but first, your top story. There's a huge mess to clean up in southeast Denver after a parking garage collapsed there.
Thankfully, no one was hurt. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon joins us live from there now. Courtney, cars are still trapped there.
Yes, that's right. Good morning, Corey and Steve. It does really look dramatic, but again, thankfully, no one got hurt at this scene. I'm going to move out of the way so my photographer Joe Swanson can zoom in, take a look at that giant crack in there. And what's kind of crazy to me is about the cars that are kind of like tilted, almost looking like they're going to fall in, but they've stayed steady overnight. So hopefully these cars will be okay. So Denver Fire Department says just 2 cars were crushed. And I also want to show you guys an overhead view. So take a look at this drone footage. You can see a large crack on the top level of the garage. Apparently it does go underground and there are cars stuck underneath as well. Denver Fire used drones and cameras to search the debris, and Joy Sims, she has a nonprofit and was moving into an office in an adjacent building here. She says she was moving the last box when everyone had to get out of the building. Her car was on the top level of the garage near where the collapse happened.
Won't let us move the cars because of the vibrations. They don't want the crack to get any bigger. It happens.
Should be a good day, right?
Yeah, I'm alive, so.
Yes, that really is good news there. But now the biggest question is, when will everyone be able to get their cars back? No one is allowed inside of this parking garage or really to get very close to it. There is a security guard here making sure that no one goes inside. Denver Fire is still investigating what happened. Live in Denver, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
Courtney, thank you. Time now for a check of the forecast at 6:01. It is mild and dry this morning. Sun will be coming up in just about an hour, and we are bracing for record-setting temperatures. 82 the high. The previous record, 76 degrees, and that was set back in 1896. We have never seen highs this high, and we're expecting to hit 88 tomorrow, near 90 into the afternoon for Wednesday. Never have we seen a temperature that warm in the month of March, so no advisories. It's just going to be really toasty, feeling like summer as opposed to the early parts of spring. On this March 24th, we're waking up to temperatures in the low 50s in our backyard, downtown, 55 degrees out at the airport, low to mid 40s up over northern Colorado from Greeley to Fort Collins, and a quick warm up all across the state. Highs today expected to hit the low 80s right around 4 p.m. Winds stay relatively calm, shifting in from the northwest, the gustiest conditions up over our northern Front Range mountains. But again, no advisories for today. We will be seeing elevated fire danger tomorrow, though, but from 60s this afternoon, near 70 degrees in the mountains, even hotter on Wednesday. We'll talk more about that, and a gradual cool down expected by the end of the week still to come. Brianna?
Katie, thank you so much. Right now, getting you out the door with a live look of I-25 and 58th Avenue. So traffic volume has slowly started to pick up in this area in those north and southbound lanes. So of course, it's 6:02. A lot of folks heading out the door to drop off their kids at school or to head to work. Now, I do want to switch things over to our main maps. Here in the Denver metro area, a lot of green on your screen, not tracking any bumper to bumper traffic just yet. So zooming into southbound I-25 from 144th down to 76. So not far from that CDOT camera that I just showed you. You're almost looking at a 9 to 10 minute drive, so definitely take advantage. You still have the green light. I do want to talk about one closure that's happening. So this is just north of Ted's Place. So for anyone taking Highway 287, you're going to see a heavy police presence out there. That's due to a crash. So this is all happening along County Road 72, again, just east of Highway 287. I have emailed Colorado State Patrol to find out exactly how long this closure will last, and of course, if there's any injuries and how many vehicles were involved. Right now, it's still unclear, but of course, both directions are closed. Keep that in mind, especially if that's part of your morning drive.
Brianna, thank you. A new class action lawsuit claims children accused of crimes in Colorado are often stuck inside of the system, even after a judge orders them to be freed. Civil and disability rights groups filed the lawsuit. It claims nearly 700 minors spent 1 or more days in detention from 2024 to 2025, even after courts ordered to release them. And 140 of them spent more than 30 days. Advocates argue the state has failed to provide the community-based placements and services required to free them. Democratic State Senator Judy Amabile has introduced legislation related to youth detention over the years. She says the problem has persisted.
The more we can avoid placing kids in detention at all, and the sooner we can move them out of this carceral setting and into a care setting, the better off they're going to be and the safer our communities are going to be.
Democratic Governor Jared Polis and the Colorado Department of Human Services are named in the lawsuit. In a statement, CDHS said they couldn't comment on pending litigation, but said their detention services provide a safe and structured environment for minors who are accused of committing dangerous crimes.
In a 6-4 vote last night, Aurora City Council is now bringing back a requirement that the city provides 72 hours notice before removing a homeless camp. The city got rid of that required notice last year. Council members who supported bringing it back argue it already takes the city about 72 hours to remove a camp anyway, so they say that this will help manage expectations for people who report them. Critics worry the notice will make it more difficult to enforce the city's ban on camping in public places. Camps that pose an imminent health risk or safety risk do not require that notice.
Denver has launched a new recovery court to handle drug-related misdemeanor cases. It will be dedicated to handling drug and drug-adjacent cases like trespassing and petty theft. The court will handle treatment and support for people whose substance abuse has landed them in the legal system.
Some breaking news this morning. We've learned that the Colorado Attorney General has agreed to settle with a company at the center of a 2-year-long investigation by Steve on Your Side. This deal will cancel what the AG called unfair real estate contracts and keep an estimated $8.4 million in homeowners' pockets. Steve on Your Side first exposed these contracts from a company called MV Realty back in 2023. The company offered homeowners a few hundred to a couple $1,000s in exchange for signing a contract that would entitle MV Realty to a share of commission if they ever sold their home. What many of these homeowners didn't know, they were signing a 40-year agreement that operated like a lien on the property, holding up title if those homeowners tried to refinance or sell. Laura Walsh told us her story back in 2023 when she couldn't find anyone from MV Realty to help sell her home, but the company still demanded more than $20,000 when she eventually sold. This agreement means that she'll likely get some of that money back. She says she's glad she kept fighting, told her story, and testified in this case.
Like I had done all I could, and that it was just kind of in the fate of the judges and the legal system and process, and hoping that the good guys would prevail, and I think they did.
Under this settlement agreement, MV Realty would permanently void all its existing contracts with homeowners, which at last check, there were about 600 in the state. The company will also pay $600,000 in restitution, likely paid to people like Laura, who had to fork over money to that company because of those contracts. A judge still has to sign off on the settlement. MV Realty would have 35 days from the day of the settlement's approval to notify homeowners that their contracts have been voided.
This morning, this comes after a deadly crash between an Air Canada flight and a fire truck. The pilot and the co-pilot were killed and dozens more were hurt. This morning, we're getting a look at the moment of the collision. We do want to warn you, some of you might find this hard to watch. Video captured the Air Canada Express regional jet coming down the runway you see there. Then about 2/3 of the way down, the plane plowed into a Port Authority rescue and firefighting truck. The impact was so hard it sheared off the aircraft's nose, killing the 2 pilots.
It forward, but immediately, maybe a second or two later, it felt like a crash. These 2 pilots who unfortunately lost their lives did everything in their power to stop the plane and slow it down at the very last minute when they saw the fire truck there. And
Air traffic control recordings revealed the truck had just requested permission to cross runway 4, trying to make its way to another plane that had just declared an emergency because of an odor on board. A controller initially gave the truck the go-ahead before trying to stop it from driving in the plane's path.
One was an emergency earlier.
No, man, you did the best you could.
2 sources tell NBC News the controller was doing 2 jobs at the same time, managing aircraft in the rainy sky as well as planes and vehicles on the ground. The FAA and NTSB are both investigating.
At 6:08, we are seeing temperatures in the 40s and 50s this morning, and a very warm day is ahead. Expecting to break records this Tuesday, 52 degrees right now, so a comfortable start to the morning. Already well above freezing for many of our mountain towns. Still probably want that layer this morning, but it's a quick warm up. By 10 o'clock, already in the upper 60s, low 80s expected with a mix of sun and clouds. 3 o'clock today, a high of 82 would break the previous record of 76. 60s, 70s in the mountains, and even hotter temperatures on tap for Wednesday. I'll have your 7-day forecast when we'll cool back to some more seasonal normal temperatures this week coming up.
Katie, thank you so much. And we do have significant slowdowns happening right now along northbound I-25 near Alameda. So it looks like it's a crash that's happening and blocking several lanes. You can see kind of those flashing lights right now in those center lanes. Again, this is happening along northbound I-25 between Alameda and 6th Avenue, and your speed times are slowing down right now to 12 miles per hour.